What's up, folks? Just thought I'd toss up a quick video. Hopefully it'll be quick. Actually uploading the video as we speak, but I'm way behind on making videos and just behind, man. I got too much going on. I'm actually sampling on this, which is cloudy and not carbonated. But as you can tell, it looks a whole lot better than the last batch, which this is the Arrogant Bastard Ale, second attempt. And if you remember, the first batch was nowhere near Arrogant Bastard. It turned out to be, I don't know what, like a brown ale or whatever. And I swear, I think either some of the ones I bottled, I didn't clean the bottles well enough, and the bottles got infected with white. I really don't think it was that bad out of the tap. But I don't know that. Either way, it was a fail on the first attempt. This attempt is much better, and it was, remember, the two-row and Special B, and I kegged it last night. Cold crashed it for like 3 days. I think I've went a little over on the bitterness probably from the whirlpooling that I'm talked about so much, but I think it'll mellow out right nicely, and it's definitely better than the first attempt. I will say that, just from what I can tell from the little sampling I've done. And when it gets right, I'll have to go pick up an Arrogant Bastard and compare the two. But yeah, I'll just have to compare the two. And speaking of which, Arrogant Bastard Ale, since your YouTube name is Arrogant Bastard Ale and I've made an Arrogant Bastard Ale clone, maybe I need to send you my Arrogant Bastard Ale and let you, Arrogant Bastard Ale, try my Arrogant Bastard Ale and see what you think about my Arrogant Bastard Ale. Get all that? Got a light burn out. But yeah, just hanging out, chilling out. Got to get supper going here in a minute. The wife's out working out, and things have been crazy, and I'm cleaning. I got my keg, getting ready to tear it down, clean the valves and everything real good, and retape them with Teflon. I'd like to do that every few brews and scrub them down real good. And I had a dumb mistake. I had my keg sitting up on my chair here, filling up with water and OxyClean, and cardinal rule number 1, didn't check the valve, so water went out all over my floor and got my bottle boxes a little bit wet, so they're sitting out everywhere. And I got my mash tun sitting here full of water, and one of my fermenters full of water, and yeah, just all the time something going on. But yeah, everything's going smooth, I guess. Just crazy busy, and I don't like all this dark down here. I know you can't see me well. Oh yeah, that made it better. But yeah, I got all the stuff sitting off my kegerator, sitting everywhere, so I can get into it. And oh man, you know what? I can't even believe I hadn't mentioned this. Hockey player, buddy. I got my very first issue of Brew Your Own, and I was thinking about this last night. I thought I had put this in a video when it came in. I don't know if you can see me. That light's out right there, but yeah, I've had time just to kind of thumb through it. But dude, I really appreciate this. As long as I've been brewing, I have never looked at a Brew Your Own magazine. So you were kind enough to hook me up with a subscription when you had the buy one get one free deal or whatever it was. I think's what it was, but 2 for 1. I think's what it is. But yeah, man, I'm excited about it, and I got the first one in. Actually, I've had it for a little bit, and just hadn't had a chance to mention it, or I thought I had mentioned it, but I hadn't really had a chance to sit down and look at it. Man, my life is just totally crazy right now. Absolutely, too much going on. But what was I saying? Oh, the Keyser. Yeah, we got on tap. You have to apologize. I'll have to apologize. You don't have to apologize. God. I'll have to apologize if I repeat myself on my videos. Y'all know me. I'm scatterbrained. I've got so much going on. I don't know what I've talked about and what I have. I'm liking this Arrogant Bastard clone, even though it's not carbonated. I put it, like I say, I caked it last night and put it on 30 psi, and I've learned my lesson on doing that for kegs until what I would normally do is put it on 30 psi and leave it for like a couple of days and turn it down to serving pressure. But since I had that leak and lost like 2 tanks, I make sure I've got everything sealed on the tank, on the keg good. So I basically hit it with 30 psi, turn the input or the output to the CO2 off, so I'll make sure if there's any leaks from the keg, it just leaks out of the keg and doesn't leak out my whole CO2 tank. So I checked it this morning and checked it at lunch and checked it tonight, and it's all sealed good. So now it's cranked for 30, and probably tomorrow night I'll just crank it down to regular pressure. But that's that corny over there on the left. And on the right is, God, what is that? That's my evil twin that I still have left, the 11th hour amber ale. And that's the 11th hour IPA that is just about gone, and that's my cider. And that's what I was getting at when I said I apologize for repeating myself. I don't even remember if I told you that I finally kegged that. I know I mentioned it in a roundabout way to some other people, but I'm loving that. I'm loving that cider. And I'm really surprised. At first I didn't think I was going to like it. And I'm glad I carbonated it, because I think it where it didn't finish out as good. Of course, when you carbonate something, it kind of takes away from that sweetness a little bit. So that cider's something good, and it'll set you on your butt if you ain't careful, because it's just like sitting there drinking. At first I thought it was just going to taste like apple juice, but after it got good and chilled and carbonated, it's, I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it, but it's not like any cider that I like. I usually like, I'm trying to think of even a cider that I've had. I've not drank many of them, but there's a couple that's just like drinking like apple juice. But everybody that's drank this kind of gets like a pear, on their palate. And when I tell them it's like 6.5%, 7%, they're like, what? And but yeah, that's definitely something I'm going to be making again here shortly. And I'm thinking about just going ahead and springing for another tap and having maybe a cider on tap at all time, because it's just good, man. It's something refreshing, something different. You know, if you don't want a beer, and the ladies sometimes don't want beer. If we have gatherings, the ladies don't like beer or want beer, so they'll have cider. So yeah, that's where I'm at on that. And what else is going on? I've still got some beer to taste on video, like Yambor 44s, which the beer mail of his I'm uploading right now, just the opening of it. And I've had several of those beers, but I've not gotten any of them on video. And I've still got like one of John's to do, and this beer is catching up to me. I haven't had a beer all day. And Puka NC has still got a couple of his beers to get on video. Yeah, I think I've got a couple more of his left, but just crazy, man. Crazy times, busy times. With the heat and the rain, I'm mowing twice a week, and God, it's just unbelievable busy. I can't even begin to describe how busy it is. But I was looking outside because we had some bad storms roll through, and I think there's some more coming. But yeah, I just wanted to catch up with you. What's coming up? Oh, I'll throw this out there. What's coming up? I have a Falconer's Flight. Let me go look at my hops while I'm thinking about this. I don't even know what I know I've got Falconer's Flight hops, and you're going to get dark here for a minute. I got to change my light switch to the other side of the door, so you don't have to reach around back behind this door. But I want to do an all Falconer's Flight IPA, and I did order Zythos. I remembered I ordered some of these newer hops. I have Zythos, which my buddy Two Beer Spear has done a awesome IPA with it. The Falconer's Flight and the Seven Seas. And I've got a recipe pretty much built for the Falconer's Flight, and I only ordered 4 ounces each of these 3, and I wished I'd have ordered more. I built a recipe, and I was wanting to do all Falconer's Flight, but to get the IBUs I wanted, I wasn't going to have enough hops because, like I said, I only got 4 ounces. So, and I wanted to dry hop with it. So, what I decided to do was to, I think it was Warrior. Y'all bear with me. I'm all the time shooting off the hip when I do my videos. I don't plan nothing. Yeah, Warrior. I was trying to look how much, like probably half an ounce or 3/4 ounce or 3/4 of an ounce at 60 minutes for the bittering. Just because of this last IPA I did, I've been experimenting with this Whirlpool hops and late edition hops and not doing any bittering hops. In this last IPA I did, even though it's grown on me, I just don't know. I think some hops are going to need a 60-minute bittering, even if it's a small amount, just to kind of balance things out. So that's what I'm going to do with this Falconer's Flight. I'm going to do like a small amount of Warrior, since it's a really clean bittering hop, low cohumulone, if I can pronounce that correctly. You don't get that harsh bitterness, so you'll get some bitterness. And then do the rest, from 20 minutes on down with the Falconer Flight. And it should give me a good idea of what the Falconer Flight, the aroma and bitterness and flavor and all. So we'll see. That's probably going to be my next brew, and I actually have the stuff ordered. It should be here tomorrow to do my first lager, which will be the Victory Prima Pils clone. I doubt it'll be close, but and I can't remember all the ingredients right now. But since I can do the primary in my kegerator and my fermenter at 50 or 55, whatever the recipe is, and then I can lager. What I'll probably do is just move some stuff around in this beer fridge and lager at the lower temps in there, so that'll be just fine. Alright, I don't want to make this too long because I'll get to blabbering, and you know how that goes. So cheers, appreciate you coming by the channel. Questions, comments, lay them on me. Hope I didn't forget nothing I was wanting to say, so later.